Hello, hello, hello. I don't know if anybody can hear me. Open up the stream on YouTube real quick. Channel. Hello, hello. Okay, cool. Mute that. All right, got the chat open. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Daniel, and I don't know exactly how to start this off. I guess if you have been a part of the channel before, then you'll know
Content speeds!
that I used to make a lot of Xbox content. I was a I used to be like a PlayStation customer. Just kind of, bought all my games on PlayStation, had a Nintendo console as well here and there, but discovered Xbox for the first time, really, with the new generation, the Series X and S, and hyped that up a lot. That was really exciting. A lot of cool games to play. Game Pass is great and all that. But I've been thinking a lot lately about the current stance of where Xbox is and the strategies that they're implementing. And I feel like I just have some thoughts on that. I've been watching their showcase. That was a lot of fun. Um, and just kind of wanted to gather my thoughts all in one video. Real quick though, before I jump into that rabbit hole, because this will probably be the format going forward for a little bit. Um, I will probably just be live streaming once a week, depending either Sunday nights
When will the
or
first years
I guess
understand?
Wednesday
No
nights,
password,
depending
no
on
entrance.
my work schedule, my day job. Um, I don't really have the time or really place or anything to be recording a video and all that and doing like long form content the way I was
If
editing
anyone
and all
needs
that
help with an
stuff.
essay or assignment.
So I think what I'm gonna do is just kind of play a game and hang out with you guys and discuss like a topic or news or anything that's happened over the course of that week, I guess. And just kind of go from there, see where that goes. One of my favorite parts about doing YouTube was interacting with you guys, and I had to take a break over the last year, almost a year now,
Oh.
to
I
just a
have
lot of
never
stuff happened in
encountered
my
one.
life. So, just kind of is what it is. Had to go AFK a little bit and kind of get my stuff together and whatnot. So here I am now. Would like to get back into it and kind of take the channel in a different direction. Oh, this is empty. Sorry. Real quick, we are playing Hogwarts Legacy. I did finish the story, so this is all like post-game stuff. There shouldn't be any spoilers or anything. Um, so that's what we're watching here anyway, while I chit chat. But with that said, I
It's you!
kind of yeah, I'm just kind of winging it for now,
I
seeing
haven't been
how we
called
go
Puffskein
along
Dunking
and
once
see
since
what
you
things
brought me
look
that
like.
venomous tentacularly.
Um, so anyway, the Xbox, I guess we'll just jump into that and kind of go from there. By the way, I hope that going forward, I do get some of my viewers back. Have some friends that will, hey, Metal Warrior, there you go, PlayStation. So yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to gather my thoughts. This is new. This is all new to me, kind of. Trying to like do a video basically, but live. And if you watch any of my older videos, I have them all delisted now, but all my older videos were really, really choppy. I had to edit them because I lose my train of thought a lot. But hopefully being live will kind of help with that. Just get me more in the flow of things. Um, let's see. I don't know where I'm going. Ooh. I want to try to finish some of these challenges here. Yeah, I got you. I got you, Deathstalker. Um, yeah. So anyway, I guess to kind of keep on subject here is Xbox has been what's the word? They have been very a lot of exciting things has been happening with Xbox, but it's almost one of those situations where it feels like it's too good to be true, potentially. And what I mean by that, I guess, is we have the Activision Blizzard stuff. That's all done, taken care of. It's all dandy. Um, but we're at a point now where it's kind of like, you know, what's next, right? Do we get to finally just enjoy
It's like a
the
place right out of a storybook.
rewards, enjoy the things, right? Reap the rewards and all that from their hard work of spending all that money. And oh, there's a chest here somewhere.
Revelio.
Oh, I gotta lock it. Um,
Alohomora.
so this game might be a little too distracting for me to stream. Eventually, I might just stream from the computer camera on this thing. Just not even play. Can't even sound on Xbox. Yeah, I know Xbox was having issues with their servers, and that's something I wanted to talk about too. But anyway, yeah, their whole situation with the Activision Blizzard stuff, all these games come to Game Pass. Like, it feels like, wow, this is awesome, and this is amazing to be sitting here owning an Xbox Series X or S, being a Game Pass subscriber. But that lies the issue ultimately is hey, there's here. That lies the issue. Audio coming out of my Zoe speaker. And I'm not sure if I picked up on the microphone. And so yeah, this might not be a good game to play. I might just have to go live going forward. I might stop and restart this whole thing. Let me try to keep on track. I'm really happy that I have a Series X. I am happy that I am a Game Pass subscriber, but I have some friends who are more traditional, and I think Metal Warrior Deathstalker is of the same opinion, where he's, old school, I guess you could say. There's a lot of people that really want Xbox to continue just being the the console with the games. Like, that's really what they want. You just want to buy a box, you want to buy a bunch of games, and it's not that Xbox isn't that. You can just go buy a Series X or S, buy a bunch of games digitally, physically, right, depending. But then you get to a point where it's like you're kind of missing out a lot by not having Game Pass, right? There's a few ways to treat that service. You could do it as a trial, kind of like GameFly, but specific to Xbox. And, try out a game. If you like it, buy it so you own it. Or you could try it out digitally, and then if you like it, order it off Amazon so you get a physical copy, whatever the case. But then that's an issue, right? Because then Xbox is seemingly, it sounds like there's a lot of things going against Xbox and wanting to have physical media on their platform. We see, from the get-go, they don't use 100 gigabyte storage Blu-ray discs, so most games come either on 2 discs in the best case scenario, or half the data, and then the rest you have to download from the store anyway. So it's kind of like, well, there isn't really a point in owning the disc, because at that point it's just, it defeats the purpose. The point of having the physical game, for most of us, at least if you're probably watching this video, is to have it, right? If it gets delisted, if whatever the case may be, you have the game, the base data. You may not have all the patches, may not have all the updates. If you're lucky, the game runs without all those, right? but you still have the base, the core data. Yeah, you have to install it to your SSD from the Blu-ray disc, but that's a lot better than having to install it from the servers, which are completely controlled by Microsoft. And as Metal Warrior in the chat pointed out, if you can't sign in to your Xbox account, there's a chance your game will probably just not work to begin with. You know what I mean? So that's its own issue. Let's see, Metal Warrior. I'm going with PlayStation Plus. I'm giving up on retro gaming for a while.
These rocks have seen better days.
Ooh,
I don't see myself
how
doing
long
this
will
sort
I
of
play
thing
this?
forever, though.
I feel like
Fancy
there's
I'll have
so
my
much I
own.
need
Who's
to
there?
concentrate on that I can't keep my train of thought. Anyway, yeah, Xbox is it's this weird situation where if you want a traditional gaming console, if you just want like that old school vibe of
I should
just
investigate.
you buy a box that's got some good specs behind it, you buy games that you can pop in and play. You know, yeah, you have to install them, but you had to do that since really the PS3 generation. So, you know, like, kind of depends on what your definition of like old school is specifically. But I do think that PS3, PS4, and again, even PS5, like if you have a disc of Spider-Man 2, for example, you can just install the game, no internet required, and just play it, you know. And you can't do that with Xbox. Like for example, even Alan Wake 2, that's a big one right now. Originally just a digital release, cool, whatever. The world kind of got over it. And then they announced, hey, we're going to do a physical release. Awesome. The PS5 version will have the complete game on the disc because, once again, those discs hold 100 gigabytes of data. So they can fit the whole game, probably with patches and everything too, since the game's been digital for so long. The whole thing is going to be on the disc. Versus Xbox, if you want the disc, you'll still have to download over half the game, I believe, on the console. So it really is just a weird situation where it's kind of like, what are we doing? Like, what is the point? I mean, I understand you can potentially get cheaper. That's a benefit. Realistically, these consoles, services, platforms, they're not really going anywhere. I don't think Xbox is going to be going the way of the dodo, becoming Sega anytime soon. But I do think that it's just a weird time to kind of be an Xbox customer if you are holding on to that Xbox 360 generation. I feel like that's really the bulk of Xbox's current fan base, honestly. Because most people I've talked to kind of just want them to pump out a Gears or Halo every year, new Forza every couple years. That's really what most players want. New Fable, right? I mean, how long? Why has it taken so long to get a new Fable? I understand that studios close. I understand that projects get canned and restarted. I understand all of those things, but a Fable game, you know, like we get 3 Fables almost back to back and then nothing. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. So I think that when it comes down to it, I feel like I myself personally, like I said, I'm really happy that I have a Series X. I do play most of my games. If I have to purchase a game, I play it on my PlayStation 5. If it comes to Game Pass, I play it there. If it's a multiplayer online kind of game, I will play that on Xbox as well, because I do think that Xbox has a better online infrastructure for cloud saves, the, you know, what's it called? Quick resume and direct, what's it called? I want to say DirectX, but I don't think that's right. Smart Door. That's right, Smart Door. So, you know, because of those features, like, I mean, there's a lot of things that just kind of make sense for multiplayer. And I think Xbox has always been the multiplayer, right? The original Xbox introduced LAN parties. I was like, not introduced, but it blew up, right? Halo LAN parties. 360, huge for online multiplayer, right? Like, if you wanted to play online, you probably had a 360, to be honest with you. And then they've just kind of lost it. Xbox One went in a direction that nobody cared about, went in a different way of live with live TV, and nobody wanted that. And now we're with the Series X and S, and it's really crazy when you think about it how we're only 4 generations in to Xbox. Like, uh, they're such a new player. I mean, you could say the same with PlayStation with like PS5, but because they've also dabbled, PlayStation has dabbled with VR, uh, 3D TVs, handhelds. Like they feel like more rooted into the gaming industry than Xbox does. And then of course there's Nintendo, which is just a whole nother conversation in my opinion. But yeah, I really think that it's just an interesting time to be an Xbox like customer or fanboy or whatever however deep into it you want to go. Um, I do think that Xbox will see. I mean, we're already seeing numbers kind of stagnate for them. I know it spiked a little bit after the whole Call of Duty thing, and maybe when Call of Duty releases on Xbox or Game Pass, maybe that will just change the game. Like we don't know. Call of Duty is a beast for sure, but can it really remove people? Can it really sway people away from their PS5s? Because that's really the conversation here. And I know Xbox has said, Phil Spencer has said that they're not in the business of out consoling anybody at this point. But and I truly understand that. Right? If you want to play Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and you don't want to have to buy a console, like Game Pass is still the option. You can stream it, which feels like a terrible experience to be honest with you, especially for multiplayer. But besides PC and console, you kind of only have those two options, for like legitimate gameplay situations. So I am just not 100% sure that Game Pass is going to play out the way I think it is for a game like Call of Duty, especially because you still can't play the game on the PS5 by paying $70. And I feel like if you are a Sony customer, it makes a lot more sense for you to just spend the 70, continue paying for your PS Plus subscription you probably already have, instead of oops, can't go that way. Instead of you know, buying the whole console, subscribing to another service that I think at this point, if you were not already interested in Game Pass, you wouldn't, like, you're not going to bother with it. I don't think Black Ops 6 is going to be a reason like, for people to subscribe to Game Pass, in my opinion. Um, I thought there was a Summoner's Court minigame over here. Did I not play that in the post game? That's right. Am I in the wrong area? I thought it was right here. Let's wait over here real quick. Ooh, I don't have a light for my face. I have to rely on the screen, so it gets dark sometimes. Um, but yeah, let me see real quick. Metal Warrior pre-ordered Astrobot. I am stoked for Astrobot. Honestly, I really think that Astrobot is going to be. I really hope the Astrobot shows Sony that they need more of that. They don't need every game to be a triple A high end masterpiece. They can go the way of Nintendo and give us games like Astrobot, give us games like I know Kenna Bridge of Spirits is not an exclusive, and I know that's now either on Xbox or coming to Xbox. I think it's on Xbox now. But like games like those, like smaller little just fun games. I really think that that's like the way to go, in my opinion. Metal Warrior says, "What's the point subscribing to Game Pass when you can't even get online?" That's exactly the point. And this is a couple times now we've had issues with Xbox servers going down. I mean, I know PlayStation in the past with the PS3, which people like to point that out. I'm gonna just sit here real quick and observe. Hogwarts Castle while I chit chat real quick. But yeah, people like to point out on the PlayStation 3 servers getting hacked back in like what was it, 2011, and I get it, that sucked, but that was so long, and since then I don't recall any significant server issues. But with Xbox, it seems like there was a point where when Elden Ring, I think Elden Ring shortly came out after, people weren't able to play that game on Xbox because their servers went down. Like Xbox servers were down, and regardless if you bought the game digitally, physically, whatever, if you popped the game in, if you weren't able to connect to the internet on their servers, the DRM couldn't check, so you weren't able to play the game that you paid money for offline. It doesn't make sense now, does it? Um, so there's just a lot of situations where I feel like we are kind of, I do think there's a lot of people like Metal Warrior here that are, he said that's what helped me decide to go with PlayStation. I think that's a valid point. I think that if you care about owning your games, then PlayStation is a better route to go. I mean, there's a reason I buy my games on PlayStation, and I buy them physically for that matter. Besides, I like to collect them, but also, they feel better. I don't know how to explain that. They feel like they're there, like I mentioned with the bigger capacity, larger capacity Blu-ray discs, the servers, not seem to be as big of an issue. They don't seem to go down. I know we had issues with PlayStation Stars, which is their like reward system. I think that's negligible. I don't really care if the rewards program goes down a little bit because it turns out people were still earning their stars or whatever. Um, and it seemed that it was more of an issue because it was tied with their loyalty program. If you have a credit card, and they're shutting that down. So it just seemed like some back end stuff that they just really needed to figure out. But Xbox has really been having some sort of issues. I don't know what's going on with that. Um, so I don't know. It's one of those situations where I just really question the like longevity of the Xbox platform. Not in a like doom. Not in a, again, I don't think they're going to be like a Sega and have to just go multi-platform. Even though it kind of seems like that's the route they're heading. I feel like it's just more of a, if you care, I don't know how to say this without coming out, I'm going to get called like a Sony pony at some point for this, but if you care about owning games, if you care about the longevity of your games, if you care about having that premium experience that you expect from a console, I really see PlayStation being the direction to go. I think Xbox as a platform has a lot to offer. I think that it is great if you want a lot of games for cheap. I think it is great if hey, I'm a son of a- yeah. I really am though. I mean, yeah, but I think I do. Like I said, I wouldn't get rid of my Series X. I have a Series X, I have a Series S, I have an Xbox One S, all in the household. I have one PS5. So like when it comes to who has more of my money for hardware, it's still Sony because I also have the Sony monitor, I have the DualSense controllers, I have the charger, I have the camera you're looking at me on is the PS5 camera, which by the way, like not terrible. It's not great. I think it's 1080p, so that's pretty good. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's one of those things where I think if you had to pick one platform, if somebody were to come to me and say, "Hey, one platform, what should I get?" I really think that the PS5 is just the way to go. I think that games are better optimized for it, and despite Series X being more powerful than the PS5, it seems like the Series S does hold back the X in some ways. And furthermore, I think that Sony just has based on what I've heard, what I've read from developers, Sony just has a more one, larger user base, which helps a lot, but two, easier like platform to design for. It's just easier. The dev kits work better, especially if you're trying to make cross-gen stuff, PS4 and PS5. Um, it just kind of seems like the PlayStation is the better way to go, despite even the exclusives. Even if you're not looking at exclusives, just for third parties run better more often than not on PS5. So, and like there's some screenshots I saw on X, Twitter, of this new game called The First Descendant, I believe. It's some free to play RPG. I did try it out. I was actually tempted to stream that game, but I just started it, and I'm like, I feel like there's more tutorial crap, so I can already not pay attention with Hogwarts Legacy here. Hence why we're just sitting here looking at the sky. I'm gonna look down some so my face is not as bright. Like using the game as my color. There we go. Face isn't as washed out. Um, but yeah, games just kind of just work better on PS5, and that's what I have to do right now. Pick PlayStation to be on one console. Yeah, I do. Yeah, no, I get that. I think for Metal Warrior, his situation's a little unique. There's a lot, of depth there when it comes to picking one console. But whether, there's people out there that are probably going through the same thing, whether it's a mental ordeal, whether it's a financial ordeal, like there are situations in life where you just have to pick one, And I think the correct answer is probably just the Nintendo Switch. Damn, if I wasn't live streaming, that'd be a good way to just end the video. No, yeah, like I said, if we're not getting into Nintendo Switch, which is a whole different conversation, of course, one traditional video game console, Sony is really it, right? Like Nintendo's going this hybrid form factor. That's awesome in its own way, for sure. But you just want to plug and play system. The Switch has too many parts to it, right? Because you got the Joy Cons, you got the tablet, you got the dock, you got the game cartridges, which feel a lot more finicky than just a disc. But then if you go PlayStation and Xbox, like the Xbox, you really like me personally. If I didn't have Game Pass with my Series X, I would feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I'm missing out on the core experience. And luckily for me, I do enjoy the games on Game Pass. But I think there's a lot of people that just don't. Like I said, I think a lot of people that are on Xbox, are coming from that 360 generation for the most part. Um, Not saying they're like I'm sure a lot of them maybe have the original Xbox as well, but I think the core of their fan base is 360 gamers, and 360 gamers loved Call of Duty, Gears, and Halo. That was basically it. So, um, if you kind of fall in that category, you're gonna look at Game Pass and be like, I don't want 99% of this. Why am I gonna pay 170 some dollars a year? Even $20 a month for some people is a lot to squeeze for a bunch of games that you don't really care about. Like think about that. I burped. So yeah, I think it's just a pretty cut and dry. Just go with PS5 because it has the exclusives, which are good. It has the better third-party support in terms of, I mean, exclusivity, right? Sony's always cutting those checks, but also just in terms of just the way the games run. I mean, this is Hogwarts Legacy on the PS5, and I know that it's not looking good over stream because it's streaming at 1080p. It's probably a little fuzzy, but I'm looking at this on a 4K high-end gaming monitor. This game looks amazing. Little blades of grass over here in the right, on the cliff there, the foliage of the trees, the leaves, the branches. Like it is an amazing looking game. Um, I'm not saying it doesn't look good on Xbox, but like it looks this good on PlayStation. It runs well. I do have it in fidelity mode, so if it looks blurry when I move around, it's because it is running at 30 FPS, I believe. Because I have like the fidelity with the ray tracing and all that crap turned on. But like all in all, like the game looks this good, and And I think another factor into all of this is we are at a point of diminishing returns. How good do you need your games to look, really? Like genuinely ask yourself that. At what point do you stop and say, hey, this looks good. I don't need this to look any better. If it can, great. But does it need to? You know? I'd rather put that effort of making it look good into more story mechanics, more gameplay, more content, more actual content. I feel like there's so many people that buy these games and use them to justify their TV, use them to justify, like, these are consoles at the end of the day. These are nothing more than a box you connect to a TV. And we're sitting here complaining about frame rates, right? That one game, the first Descendant or whatever, a free-to-play game I was referring to, there's people that are sitting there saying, oh, it runs at 90 FPS on the PS5, while the Series S is running it at 120. But then other people pointed out that there's whole assets in the Series S version that don't even load, like mountains in the background, the foliage looks like crap. Yeah, I myself would trade a 30 FPS difference to go from better looking game. Like it's all minuscule at this point, you know? Like, are we really gonna throw a bitch fit about 30 FPS? Are we really gonna throw a bitch fit about that at the expense of the game missing things? Like, it's just a crazy concept. Metal Warrior said, I'm thinking about upgrading to PlayStation 5 Pro. That's a whole nother situation here, but I ain't got nothing else to talk about, so I might as well get into that. I think the PS5 Pro is unnecessary, to be honest. I don't think that's a hot take. I think a lot of people are sitting there feeling like, what's the point of that, you know? And that's mainly coming from somebody who did own a PS4 Pro. And going from PS4 Pro to PS5, it really took away some of that. Like hitting the PS5, yeah, it was faster. It felt good, looked good. But when you realize that the games all ran the same, they all looked the same for so long, like, I don't know. It like I said, it's one of those things, diminishing returns. And I think having that half step going from PS5 Pro to then what, PS6? And it's like, what are we really going to get? Like, really, what are we going to do? PS5 Pro would be like 8K, 30 FPS, probably. Or 4K, 60, guaranteed, maybe 1440 or 1440p upscaled 4K, 120 FPS. Maybe the PS6 comes out of left field and is like, hey, we got 240 FPS. Like, if you want ultra high frame rate gaming, that's ridiculous. PlayStation is supposed to be why is this not working? The TGS? I don't know what TGS is. Oh, supposed to be at the game show? I don't know what TGS means. Let me clarify that. Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. I look at the PS5 as it is. Like, it's right in front of me on my desk here. And, Tokyo Game Show. PlayStation is supposed to be at the Tokyo Game Show. Like the PS5 Pro or just PlayStation in general? I would assume PlayStation would be the Tokyo Game Show. That makes sense. But do you think they'd announce the PS5 Pro at the Tokyo Game Show? I mean, I wouldn't see why not. I mean, you know, now that I think their hardware stuff is more just being like, I don't know. I feel like Sony is going away with Nintendo with that, and they're trying to push their hardware to be more like on the Japanese side of things, trying to bring it back home, basically. Yeah. I don't know. I just heard they're supposed to have a booth there. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like I said, that makes sense. I don't know. They might show off some games, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like with the PS5 Pro, I really feel like they would just announce in a blog post, honestly. Like, here's the blog post, here's a trailer on YouTube, have at it. And it's like, okay, thanks. Like, they know that it's not going to be a substantial thing. There was a rumor, Metal Warrior had told me, he heard about how to play GTA 6, you would need a PS5 Pro, potentially, and it's like, I'm so mad they got rid of Quidditch. Like, I know that they're making a whole separate thing, Quidditch online shit. That'll be fun. That'll be really cool. But I don't know. It's just sad flying around the stadium here, the arena, whatever. Like, what is this? It says Hufflepuff. What is that though? Ravenclaw, Slytherin. Oh, it's just the same thing over and over. Gryffindor, Slytherin. Well, I am a Gryffindor, so I can't even land here. I bet, huh? Not land anywhere on here. Like I can't sit on the bleachers at all. Are you kidding me? Going too fast. Let's see. I'm learning a lot about the backwards compatibility with PS2 and PS3. Yeah. So me and Metal Warrior or Deathstalker, we've had conversations about this. I would immediately buy a PS5 Pro if it had native backwards compatibility with all PlayStation games from every generation of PlayStation. I currently have a backwards compatible model of the PlayStation 3 to play PS2 games and PS1 games. And then I have a PS5 for PS4 and PS5 games. If I could just allocate one console to all of that, if that was like the Pro feature, because let's be honest, the Pro model console is for enthusiasts, is for the hardcore fans, and the Sony ponies, if you will. And I feel like if they cater to that specifically, that they will actually end up selling more units, in my opinion. I think 4K was good for the general audience. I think that there's a lot of people that bought the PS4 Pro just because they heard, oh, 4K, awesome. But even the enthusiasts knew that if you genuinely wanted 4K, you should go with the Xbox One X. Especially if you wanted a 4K Blu-ray player. Like the PS4 Pro couldn't even play 4K Blu-ray. That was kind of crazy.
I don't mind living in dormitories.
Just given the history of Sony and Blu-ray and all that, but I'm not going there. Ooh, that how dark it gets. Ooh. So, I'm just gonna kind of walk around. I'll walk around Hogwarts here, honestly. I feel like that's a. Ooh, what is this? Is it a chest? Ooh.
Alohomora.
Chest. Let's do that. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, oh, you know what I do need to do? I need to go to Hogsmeade in a shop and sell some stuff. I have some stuff from the end game. That I need to get rid of.
Imagine how inconvenient
They
travel
introduced
was
an
before I
update in this where you
invented
can
blue
reset
powder.
your skill point stuff, your skill tree, and I'm very talented, what they call it. And I'm tempted, but it's 6,200 gold. I don't know what it's called. I have enough, obviously, but like, now that I'm like at the end game, it's like that would have been nice to have, like fake or something, so I made a lot of decisions.
It is wonderful to see you back here.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, PS5 Pro could
Perhaps
do.
today you have something you'd like Penny to sell for you?
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. But realistically, when they say backwards compatibility, I'm sure their goal is to get it to a point like what we've had so far, where you'll have, PS2 games that are on the subscription service.
Defeating Harlow,
that you can download.
Penny wonders what it must be
console.
like to be so
And
brave.
we'll get that same thing with PS3 at some point, I'm sure, and will be a very specific, select number of games, because the problem with PS3 specifically was that the architecture of the hardware was so complicated, because you could utilize the cell architecture in so many different ways, and developers did just that. Their games are designed to use that technology. Like, it's not cut and dry. It wasn't like a one and done, like copy paste kind of method. Every developer got to choose their own way to use, right? Put things here, move things over there. Like, it's very complicated, and so you can't just make an emulator even that just kind of has all that, And I don't know. I feel like it really sucks, because they could have had a winner on their hands, and they just failed miserably with PS3, in my opinion, in terms of like longevity.
Penny wishes you
in
safe
terms
and
of,
wondrous travels.
More specifically, longevity and collectability, and I don't know, it really sucks. It really sucks. I do think that for consoles, I think this is another thing, for consoles to be seen as relevant, especially as it seems like more and more people are pushing into the PC market, I do think that console platform holders, they need to care about the backwards compatibility, they need to care about obviously digital ownership, and they really need to care about is the longevity of the library. And I think the first company, honestly, it's really you see the way my it's just sticking to this. Why is it doing that? It's weird. It's like, oh wow. So weird. I hate playing it. They glitch out so much, like on the room. I mean, like, oh, it's raining. Wait, what? I thought it was not springtime again, wasn't it? Oh, I guess this. I'm really upset that you can just change the seasons post the game. Like, after you end the game, you should just be able to change to whatever season. If you want Christmas 24/7, let's be honest. Hogwarts, Harry Potter, the whole 9 yards. It's the best during winter. I don't think that out there. That's my honest opinion, and that's the fucking truth. Okay. Anyway, yeah, but I think the first company to really just get that, just get that locked down, right? Get that locked down. Bring us our old games. Give us all the old games available to purchase again at the bare minimum. That's the platform that's going to be like the console to own. I think that the subscription model is a good step in that direction while you build up that library. And I do know that Sony is doing a good job of, like the Sly Cooper games. Can you hear me? I know that Sony's doing a good job allowing you to purchase those like PS2 games a la carte on the Sony store, right? The PlayStation store. So if you didn't want to subscribe to PlayStation Plus to play Sly Cooper, you could just buy it for, I don't know how much, $20 or less or something like that. So it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I really wish I had picked a different game. I feel like I like to play a game that was more. I don't know. I do just enjoy. I honestly do enjoy just walking around Hogwarts. Not gonna lie. It'd be so cool to just be here, you know.
Augustus Hill just wants you to buy something, though.
You guys want to pet a cat? Pet a cat. I'll let it have to go into a cutscene. Pet the cat.
I can't decide if I like Professor Weasley or Professor Hecat more.
Anyway, I don't really have much else to talk about. I don't want to drag this on longer than it needs to be. So, I kind of said everything I need to say about the Xbox. Just to reiterate really quick, I do think that Xbox is going in a good direction, like, for them, right? Like, you look really good for you. Like, they're doing good for what they want to. That's great. More power to them. But I think there's a lot of people that just, I think they overestimate the younger generation that are just willing to play on iPads. I think that they are going to try to buy Castlevania Advance and upgrade Gran Turismo 7 and Grand Theft Auto 5. Oh, on the PS5. Okay. Yeah, sounds like a good plan. Yeah, I really think Xbox underestimates or overestimates how much the younger generation wants to play on iPads and phones and stuff. I think they don't realize that the problem ultimately is most of the like kids that I know in my life that are playing Fortnite and crap like that. I say crap like that as if I don't also play Fortnite, but people that play those kids that play those games, most of them, to my knowledge, play on their Switch. They play on their Switch because it's a cheap console, right? Mom and dad don't have it. It's easy to say, oh, well, yeah, I'll buy you a $200 Switch Lite or maybe a pre-owned Switch from GameStop, right? So, like, the Series S, I think, is a good direction, and I do know that there's, like, rumors of a handheld hybrid, potentially, Series S or Xbox Series, handheld, whatever. That would be great. I think that that would be a good, so I have to use the controller as my microphone, so I don't know how that's working for me. But yeah, so I think that Xbox could have a winner on their hands. I think if I was a parent, well, I am a parent, obviously, but you know, like when you're looking at it, I guess if I was a parent that didn't know anything about gaming specifically, if you were to, you know, just get some basic information and say, okay, well, the Xbox hybrid handheld, whatever, would allow them to play it on the go. Cool. The benefit to that is they don't have to take up the TV. Um, I don't. I'm not mumbling, so I don't know what you're talking about. I think the microphone is cutting out or something. Um, but the console, like the Switch being a hybrid, helps a lot because you can have them play on the TV if they want, or you can have them go chill in their room or on the couch if you want to watch a show yourself, right? So I think if Xbox introduces that, that will be good for the kids. I think that Game Pass is another good way to get parents to say, oh, well, I don't have to buy them every new game that comes out. Cool, they just get all these games. And especially if kids mainly care about the free to play stuff like Fortnite, um, Roblox, Minecraft. I know it's not free to play, but you know, Minecraft is another big one. Games like that, those forever games, it seems to be. Um, Again, you get all of those on. You can get all of those on Xbox, and furthermore, via Game Pass. So if they can release something in a cheap enough package, I could see Xbox. Ew, gross. PlayStation Portal. No. I do see. No, actually, I was just talking to my girlfriend. I do think I want to get a PS Portal because my console is hooked up to my desk here, and I enjoy playing at my desk. I like having my little space to play games and stuff. But I think the Portal would be really nice to lay in bed and play, or sit on the couch and play. Maybe take with me places. I don't think I would take it to work. I would take it with me if I know I'm going somewhere that's going to have good Wi-Fi, for example. maybe on a trip or something. But I also have the Backbone controller, which works pretty well. But I use that mainly at work. I could also use the Backbone in bed, but I think it would be nice to have the full-on feature set. I also think that the Portal is a good way to let your kids play the PS5 without having to take up the TV potentially. But no, I really think that Xbox could hit a home run with this hybrid handheld, whatever the hell they're gonna make, because I think that if they hit that price point, 250, 249, I think that alongside with Game Pass and alongside with the free to play games that are available there, that's going to do it. That's really going to get the moms and dads to buy their kids the shit, and those kids will see that playing with a controller is a lot better than playing with touchscreen controls, because that is just objectively a fact. I've never met anybody, right, even my stepson, as soon as he started playing games with a controller, that is the preference. He can play, um, like, he can play on a tablet, right? If he's going to play Roblox, he can play on a tablet. But he's expressed multiple times how the controller just is better. Like, he's like, so it really is one of those things where I think Xbox is overestimating that whole generation. And I think just because it's the trend now, because remember, that used to be the trend at one point when the Wii U came out. Everyone, Nintendo was chasing that iPad crowd, but those kids grew up. They grew up, they moved away from iPads, they moved away from, because they were getting hand-me-down shit. They were getting mom's old iPhone, mom's old iPad, because mom didn't want to go spend $300 on a console. But as soon as the kid gets old enough, right, 10, 11, 12 years old, okay, all right, we can probably go get a cheap Xbox or PlayStation from GameStop, pre-owned, whatever. And then boom, cycle starts over again. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I do think that there's some exciting stuff up ahead from Xbox with the whole handheld. I think that the Switch 2 will be a big, big hit, especially for hearing PS4, maybe PS4 Pro level graphic or capabilities. I think that will be like, I really think the PS4 generation is the like pinnacle of gaming. We got the best quality, the best quantity, good turnaround times, great online service. We got like literally everything was kind of at the top of its game. Yes, games didn't perform the best, right? We had a lot of 30 FPS games, but like 60 FPS was possible, right? Look at Call of Duty. Almost every Call of Duty game, 60 FPS on the PS4. It still looked pretty damn good. And if you're giving that to people on the go, right? And again, in a super user-friendly form factor. I know the Steam Deck exists. I know that portable PCs are a thing, but there's so many people that if you say, "Oh, what is the ROG Ally?" Oh, it's a portable PC. No, they're done. Metal Warrior is one of those people, right? You hear the word PC and you're just like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I don't want to mess with that," right? And that sucks. That's mainly a user competency issue, but it's also just, again, people want the plug and play factor of the console. So I think that if you give them that plug and play in a handheld form factor that could potentially also be plug and play, through a hybrid like the Switch, I really think that we'll see every company. I think the Portal is kind of just proving to Sony whether or not people want the handheld. And the fact that I saw a Portal in store for the first time since they released, like they're just now getting to be able to keep them on store shelves. I really think Sony knows, hey, people want a Portal. People want the PSP 3. Xbox knows that they need the Xbox Series S Go edition. Series S Go. That'd be funny because the PSP Go. People want the Switch too. Like, people want to take their games on the go, wherever they want to be, right? Whether it is in the bathroom, whether it's on a plane, on a train, in the car, very far, Dr. Seuss. But wherever they want to be, they want their games with them, and they want little confidence. That's what the Switch has done. The Switch was the first one, to give us as little compromise as possible. Now we have Steam Deck, we have ROG Ally, we have all these other hybrid handheld sort of things, but the Switch still does the switching part the best, right? The docking situation for the Steam Deck is a little finicky because you gotta like plug a cable in at the top, and it's just not as smooth of an experience. And I think if anybody has taught us that, it's Apple. The simplicity or the appeal of that magic really sells. People want to not think about it. They want to just drop it and go. And I think the instant connection, I think the instant, it's just the Switch did it right. And I think if they can just keep it like that, but give us the performance that we want out of it, I think that that will be a really good fit for them. So, I guess we'll have to see. Anyway, I'm going to read a couple comments here. But warrior said, I'm going to get a Portal, but work on a PlayStation 5 Pro. Yeah, I think that's a good plan. I think that the Portal, in your situation, I do think the Portal would have better value, honestly. But I would also, again, test remote play first with your phone or whatever. Because if remote play works really well, then Portal is going to work really well. Just because keep in mind, the Portal is useless without good internet. But the PS5 Pro, on the other hand, you know, remains to be seen. Could be good, could be bad, we don't know. But I do know the Portal. I think I used to kind of bag on it because I was like, just use your phone, get the backbone. But the more I think about it, I'm like, it would be nice to have this flushed out, dedicated experience for PlayStation. I really do think that, and that's only because we don't have the hybrid form factor. But also to keep in mind, um, I mainly play my Switch in handheld mode. I have the Switch OLED, and I mainly play it at home. To be honest with you, I do bring it to work with me. I do get some downtime here and there to play it, but when I look back at like the most I've ever played my Switch in handheld mode, it's always like in bed on the couch because the kids want to watch a movie. So I really do think that the Portal was designed as like a side, like an end table kind of device, something that you would just keep next to the recliner, next to on your bedstand. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think that is all of my thoughts on the Xbox stuff. I know we rambled a little off topic here and there, but like I said, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy it when I get comments, kind of stir off the path, take the road less traveled. And I think that that is something I do a lot in this game, Hogwarts Legacy. Um, I think it is a game where you get to kind of explore and something will just kind of grab your attention. You can't interact with everything like you can in something like Breath of the Wild, but it is cool to be able to just see something, and you never know. You know, I saw a statue in the game, and it turned out to be like a wave like of enemies to fight. It was really fun. I did that the last time I played this, so that's kind of what I like doing when I have these conversations. So hopefully I can get my setup situated. I think maybe next time I'll do either a different game that I can actually play and talk about at the same time, or talk at the same time, or I'll get I have my MacBook here. I used to do this with a Mac and like my consoles. I think I'm just gonna go with the MacBook. Um, I'll have to figure out a way to get that done. 'Cause the MacBook is everything I need to live stream, but I don't have a way to switch to gameplay if I really want to. But I don't know if I want to. I really just kind of want to talk about games, make that the focal point. Um, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Only have YouTube Premium until the 19th. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, not monetized. Premium does help, but I mean, watching ads, it's a good way to support your YouTubers that you enjoy. So keep that in mind. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I'm a sign off and figure this out. I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'll live stream either this next Sunday evening or Wednesday next week. I might do a quick live stream at some point in the middle of the day during this week because it's summertime. I just realized, so I don't have to be up early at all to take like anyone to school. So that'll be cool. Not a warrior, just give me a call. I will do. I will do that. If anybody's watching this after the fact, maybe like a podcast or something like that, um, you know, consider subscribing, liking, commenting. I will read comments after the fact. But hopefully we can turn this into something fun going forward. So that said, I will catch you guys in the next video stream. Stream kill the video star. Anyway, I'm sorry. Also, ending the live stream takes a little more effort as well. So, bye guys.